So next comes the fruit. But dropped the cane. Dropped a tomato. This happens every single flight. Today I'm flying TAP Air Portugal's flagship widebody, their Airbus A330-900neo, on a brand spanking new route, LAX to Lisbon. And today I'm also flying on TAP's A321LR, a narrow-body long-haul aircraft that flies from places like Lisbon to Newark. So that got me wondering, does size really matter when it comes to business class? Will you be getting the same premium experience on a smaller plane? I'm testing out TAP's business class on both airframes to see how the passenger experience stacks up. Same airline, same alliance, even the same prices in some cases. But are you really getting the same value? Let's find out which bird delivers the better business class experience. Let's compare. I was asking someone where the tapairportugal check-in process was, and one of the flight attendants had no idea what airline that was. So TAP does seem to be a very new airline for a lot of the LAX customers. Okay, I'm about to check in for TAP. There is a separate premium line for anyone with a business class ticket, so I will be heading there soon. Here's my passport. Flying to Lisbon. So I'm finally out of the Thomas Bradley International security lines, and let's just say that was incredibly busy. Now I'm heading to the Star Alliance Lounge. It's gonna be fun. If you are flying with TAP on their executive class, then you will have access to the Star Alliance Lounge because TAP is a member just like United, Lufthansa, and Avianca. Okay, so I've made it inside the Star Alliance Lounge, and it looks like there is a lot of seating here. There's a whole bar set up. There's a whole area where you can just sit and enjoy the food. And I want to check out the buffet because that's the one thing that I'm really looking forward to. All right, the best part of this lounge is probably the terrace. It is an outdoor experience. I mean, look at this, it's incredible. Greenery, aviation, what more could you want? I'm here at Umberto Delgado Airport in Lisbon, and I'm about to board a A321LR. I'm going from Lisbon to Porto to Newark because my original flight directly from Lisbon to Newark was canceled. But the good thing is I will still be on the same aircraft that was promised on the original flight. Okay, so I just went through TAP Air Portugal's premium check-in line, and it's really important to notice that TAP Air Portugal does have a separate check-in line for any of its business class passengers and a separate security line. This is a little chaotic. I'm trying to find the separate fast track lane. Oh, I see it. All the way in the back is a fast track premium journey. I think you can see behind me, the security is pretty intense, but let's go through this. Woo! Easy peasy. I'm going to Porto. It'll only be a 30-minute flight. My next flight all the way to Newark will be at 6:05. So I have a bit of time. I'm going to go ahead and enjoy the lounge. The lounge here was pretty chill. Nothing too fancy, lots of food options. I am just going to grab a pastel de nata and then head to the gate. I could eat a bajillion of these. Hold on. We're about to reach the gate about an hour before boarding, and things are sorted. Before I get into the flight review, I wanted to tell you about my favorite carry-on from Victorinox, who is today's sponsor. This is the Airox Advanced Frequent Flyer carry-on. I love the fact that it's so lightweight, and I love the fact that it has a ton of expansion so I can have room to pack everything I need. Plus, it's extremely durable, and look how cute it is. These are my favorite features. First, this Swiss Army knife scale. You can actually personalize it with a special color and literally any engraving. Your name, baby's name, whatever you want. I went with the Mango Tango one, and honestly, I love it. It's bright, fun, and feels very me. Getting Medha engraved on it felt like a natural move. Growing up, my parents used to tie whatever ribbon we had lying around onto our luggage so we could spot it at baggage claim. So this feels like a full circle moment, but way more bougie. You can also swap it out depending on your trip. That's why I also packed the Mountain Leaf one. Because some days I'm traveling for me, and other days it's game time for TPG. Also, check out the expandability. With a simple adjustment, I get an extra 1.5 inches of packing space. The interior is magical. It has a hidden AirTag compartment and an anti-scratch pocket, so you don't have to grab a separate bag for your computer. With the TSA push-button lock and convenient top and side handles, this luggage is practical and secure. The best part, Victorinox offers a lifetime warranty and covers all travel gear collections and even covers airline damage. No questions asked. As someone who values both style and functionality, I think the Airox Advanced is a smart choice. Time for this review. Today, I'm flying on tapairportugal's A330-900neo, their wide-body jet used for long-haul flights. These are actually fairly new and they're very comfortable. The airspace cabins have a lot more storage compartment space and they're supposed to be quieter because of the Rolls-Royce Trent engines that they've fitted into this aircraft. So we have a ton of legroom over here. I'm pretty short though, so I wonder if this is enough space for someone who is 6 feet and taller. As always, there's a ton of compartments. One compartment here, which is a mesh storage compartment where you can put all your cameras, anything you want. The USB ports, I do see them down here, and it seems like this is where you can add any of your electronics. Now, the tray table is actually quite small in comparison to other business class tray tables that we see, but the good thing about this is that it has a very good push and pull mechanism. The screen over here is about 16 inches. It's pretty expansive. Now, this specific aircraft is in a 1:2:1 reverse herringbone configuration. All seats do have aisle access, but if you are seated in the middle, you do have to share a little bit of space with your seat partner. But that's okay since they do have a divider available for you to put up. When it comes to comfort, I'm actually pleasantly surprised. It's nice, and it seems like they have a ton of control options. So for example, I'm seated upright right now. Actually, I wasn't. So now I'm sitting really upright. The more lie flat. Okay, I don't want to get anyone too excited, but there's actually a massage option here. And I actually don't see that as often anymore. So I'm going to keep that going because you girls got back problems. I'm seated all the way in the back of the cabin in seat 5A. This is a window seat. There's a ton of legroom. Honestly, it looks almost the same as the one on the A330-900neo. And over here is a little bit of a storage compartment. I will say that the narrow body does not have as much storage as you would receive on a wide body plane, but I think it does suffice for a shorter flight. This tray table, you can tell that it has some kinks in it just because this is a fairly older aircraft. This specific IFE screen is 15.6 inches, so it is 0.4 inches smaller than the wide body aircraft. The recline on this has the same amount of buttons as the one at the A330. This specific aircraft is configured in a 2:2 and a 1:1 staggered configurations. So that means you'll have 4 seats that are solo seats, and those are called the throne seats. Now, the throne seat, although it is a very nice solo seat, I think I still prefer the A330-900neo business class window seat. You can't complain, there's just so much storage. There are USB ports everywhere. I just felt like I could move in. They have quite a few amenities here. This is one of the storage compartments, and in here is actually a pair of headphones. They're reusable, so that's good to know. They do have this lovely Tap Portugal amenity kit. We have our amenity kit right here. This is blue versus yellow. Just rip out an adorable sleep mask, earbuds, socks, toothbrush, lotion. That's what you need. So the amenity kit is pretty much the same. Very much the same things other than that this one is blue and the other one that we received was yellow. The Tap Portugal team said to me that these are actually created by Portuguese designers, and they did try to really work with local artists. The best part is the pillow and blanket that is provided, and they do have this lovely greenish yellow color. Oh, it's not as fluffy, Liam. It's like very squishy. I'm gonna double it when I sleep. There's no mattress pad that is available, but they do have this blanket. It is just like a normal duvet cover. It's not soft by any means. So my meal is finally here. There's bread, appetizer nugs, and they taste delicious. They had a shrimp salad as the first appetizer that we served today. So I'm just gonna delicious. It was very fresh. And you wouldn't expect anything less from Portuguese Airline to have wonderful seafood and the chicken pasta. This is the main dish. It's an Alfredo pasta. It could have a bit more flavor. I think I was expecting way more. I will say the speed of service was great. We were serviced food about an hour after takeoff, so that's great. I did think that the portions were great. It is enough to fill one person up. You do only get 2 meals on the flight, and you have the option to opt out of the breakfast meal, which is kind of like a continental breakfast. That is the second meal on this flight, but you will have your sleep interrupted if you do opt for that. I think 2 meals for an 11-hour flight is pretty solid. One thing that surprised me the most is how gigantic this Coke can is. You usually get mini Coke cans, but this is as big as my head, and I love it. We had a lovely selection of dessert. We had this ice cream, the fruit, some cheese that pairs nicely with the wine selection. Whoa. I think some of you remember my favorite ice cream from the Cathay Pacific flight. Love this. This is my topic. This is, I believe, a special meal that I ordered. It is the halal meal. It looks pretty tasty. I love that it comes with silver cutlery, which is what you would expect in business class. This is the salad. Dropped a tomato. This happens every single flight. This is my halal meal. It's a chicken rice dish. Okay, not bad. I like how warm the rice is. It's very supple. It's not like skinny rice. Ooh, those carrots were soft. Wonderful. And the broccoli. Juicy. This bread is a rock. Now that's some tough bread. Okay, the final thing that I will try from this meal is this dessert. Don't exactly know what it is, but it has a cinnamon flavor. It looks like an apple bake. That was okay. That wasn't my favorite dessert on planet Earth. These Coke cans are abnormally, I can't say that word, abnormally large. You know what time it is. Call bell challenge. So let's time how long it takes for a flight attendant to arrive, and I'm starting the timer. Start. Yes, thank you. We're passing a minute. Oh, perfect. Yes. Okay. Can I get a cup of coffee as well? Okay, thank you. You win, narrowbody. You win the call bell challenge. Okay, guys, it's time to test out the lie flat bed. I'm really excited. This is always the best part. I wonder if you can actually adjust it just a little higher, because as someone who's 5'3", my feet almost touch the end of the bed. I don't think this is going to be tall people friendly, Janae. I'm sorry. So when you bring it back up, you only have to click it once, which honestly I feel like is very easy to use. But this is great. And I'm back. I'm ready to lie flat. It feels so good to lay down. Oh my god. My chunky New Balances are kind of hitting the end, so that's pretty concerning given I'm 5'3". I don't think this would be a perfect lie flat for a tall person, if I'm gonna be honest. Good morning, everyone. I wanted to go ahead and show you guys breakfast. Fruits, croissant. It's actually quite flaky, and salad with cheese. Everything looks very fresh, flaky, and I love the fact that they have real silverware. That salmon was delicious. Okay, I'm also not a big fan of cheese in the morning, but those are surprisingly good. Alright, so I just landed from the non-stop flight from LAX to Lisbon, and it was honestly funny because the Customs Border Patrol agent was like, you should have had a layover and made me show my boarding pass. Anyway, how was the A330-900neo? Well, that specific business class cabin and seat was pretty standard. I thought that they had really good service. It was very kind. The food was great. The presentation was wonderful. Messaging and Wi-Fi honestly kind of worked, and usually when I'm on transatlantic flights, the Wi-Fi doesn't connect or just doesn't really do the job. The complaint that most people have is that the lie flat seats aren't as comfortable, but I actually thought that they were pretty comfortable, and there were multiple ways in which you could position your seat so that you did lie down. I didn't feel like there was a lack of storage compartments. There were enough USB ports and outlets. I think this is going to be really good for anyone who wants a non-stop option. Okay, I am back in New York and I'm just waiting for my luggage to arrive. So I thought I'd debrief on how the flight went. Drum roll, please. I think the A330-900neo wins, especially if you don't have a throne seat. I know Liam would beg to differ and thinks the throne seat on the A321LR is much better, but I would like to say that the A330-900neo is so much better. It's just a newer product, it's cleaner, the service is better, there's so many more storage compartments, and I just felt like the cabin noise was a little lower. Everything combined made it a better flight, made it a better experience, made it more bang for your buck. Are all business classes created equal? No, they are not. I think the biggest sacrifice is the A321LR does not have aisle access for their window seats. That is very tough. You have to jump over people just to use the bathroom. That shouldn't be happening. You should all have aisle access. And when you're paying all that moolah, then let me tell you, you want that privacy. I do think overall booking TAP for specifically a business class flight to Europe is a really good way to get yourself across the ocean because it is affordable, it's cultural, and you get to go to Portugal for a couple of days. Why not? I think that's all for me. Buen dia, buon tarde, and obrigada. Thanks for watching, and subscribe to the channel, The Points Guy Departures.